Good morning, Facebook. It's Gerry coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's a gorgeous day here. I hope it's nice wherever you're at. And I want to talk to you today about the coronavirus and a little bit about Rythmia and what's Rythmia and what's it about. And Rythmia is a life advancement center that employs a number of different modalities to bring about a change that's very unique. So about 7,500 people have been through the doors here at Rythmia, and 95.02% of them have experienced a life-changing miracle during their stay. The more interesting statistic is 6 months later, 97.55% of them say that this was the week that changed their life, and that miracle is still in their life, still working, and still changing everything. So because of this, we become TripAdvisor's #1 customer-rated resort in the world of any type. That means more than the Four Seasons, more than the Ritz-Carlton, more than all of those is this little place in Costa Rica. And that's at about 12 or 1,300 opinions, or whatever it's called, that people leave. What is that called? Not opinions. Reviews. Thank you. Reviews that people leave. Yes. And today I want to talk to you about coronavirus, and I want to talk to you about it. In a different way. And I want to say something to you, especially the business owners. I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be over sooner than you expect. It's going to be over sooner than you expect, and then life is going to return back to normal sooner than you expect. In business, the most dangerous words I've ever seen are "this time it's different," that people are going to change their behaviors, and people bet that way, and things always go back to human nature. People love to commune, people love to travel, people love to eat food. There's these certain things that happen, and when you artificially pen up or postpone demand, it's just a law of nature that the back of it goes up like this. So please, let's try to get it together, right? Let's try to know that, #1, things are going to get better. Things are going to return back to the way they are, and that it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And you're going to see this. And the thing is, it's going to look much worse before it looks better. Probably around the 10th to the 15th or 17th of this month, it's going to look like it's never going to get better. And yet, near the end of the month, it starts to go up again, and you will see this. You will see this, that everything starts to change, and change for the better. And then, here's the interesting part about this. I watch the internet a lot, and so many of you are pointing the finger at someone else. And when you point the finger at someone else, nobody can learn anything from this. So when you say it's the Republicans say it's the Democrat, the socialists say it's the capitalists say it's a socialist. It's like such a fucking clusterfuck. And the truth of it is, nothing changes until we see in ourselves what needs to change. If there was a Hitler, killing Hitler is not the answer. The real answer is seeing in ourselves what we should not be involved in. That's the answer. Yeah? And to do that, we have to have this super honest assessment time with ourselves. And I'm going to tell you something. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Maria. I'm going to tell you something. If you're here focused on pointing the finger at other people, and you miss the thing about yourself, you miss this whole opportunity. A lot of you haven't even sit down and wrote out a list of what's important to you. And that list should be your lodestar when things get back to normal. So I want to tell you, what do I mean by that? Well, in this thing, the people that miss this are the people who are complaining about it right now and pointing fingers at someone. They're the same people that after it's over miss the beauty of life. They're involved in other things. This really requires attention. The real attention. And attention with our thoughts, and attention with our life. This is the greatest opportunity you're ever going to have in your life, because in fucking a very short time, your business is going to be back to normal. You're going to be working. If you're an employed person, you'll be working just like you worked before, picking up the kids from school, da-da-da-da. And I swear to you, as sure as I'm sitting here, and you can each bet me on this, there will be a time in the not too distant future where you wish it was April 6th again. You wish you had another day to reflect, another day to be alone, another day to be with yourself, another day to assess yourself and get yourself ready for a better life. And what do I mean by a better life? Well, if this thing has taught us anything, we should have sit down and written out what's important to us. And you know what's really important? Look at finding out the source of the virus and figuring out the virus honestly will figure itself out. The virus wants to survive, and it can't survive at a mortality rate that's too high. It's just how this works. That's why H1N1 is still around. But anyway, instead of figuring out what the source is, figure out what's important to you in your life. Figure out what's important to you in your life. And if you don't sit down and figure that out, and the first thing is the relationship with myself. And the second thing is the relationship with my loved ones. And the third thing is the relationship with my community. And that's really what you're going to get to. And then if that's true, when we go back to the world, and that is coming sooner rather than later, without that list, you're going to miss it again. And you learned nothing. You learned nothing. So please take a look. What's important? What really means something to you? Notice your things. Notice who you're calling. Are you calling your mother more? Are you calling your children? Are you wanting to be more intimate with your loved one or your wife or your husband? These are the things that are important, and this comes down to the truth of what plant medicine has taught us. And by the way, this is a plant medicine journey. What has it taught us? That the most important thing is this relationship with ourselves. And when we fix this, it outpictures itself in our relationship with our loved ones, with our family, with our community, and our company. That's what this is about. This whole thing, all of life, is just an opportunity to experience relation. Relation with ourselves, relation with our loved ones. That's where all the joy is. That's where all the contentment is. That's where all the victories are. In this relationship, this experiencing love and relationship. And once we do, we get like plant medicine. What do I mean by that? We get to understand that our life, that this second that I have with you, I'm never going to get back. And I better make the most of it. And make the most of it, meaning this. This set right now is my altar. This house is my altar. And this second that I'm sharing with you is a miracle. And I will never get it back. And all of the joy and all the contentment comes from my giving this, not my getting. So we get back to JFK. It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. And what is plant medicine asking us to do? It's asking us to do the same thing that the world, the mother's asking us to do right now. To get back to truth. To get back to truth. And what is truth? Well, truth is pretty simple stuff. The truth is this. You're not owed a fucking thing. You got the greatest gift. You were dropped into a garden. A garden that grows fruits and vegetables. A garden that provides shelter. A garden that provides incredible beauty of beaches and mountains. And this, you were dropped into a garden. You were given 2 feet and a heartbeat. And that's it. Are you owed health care? No. Are you owed food stamps? No. Are you owed unemployment? No. You're not owed anything. We're here not to get, but to give. And here's the whole thing. Truth is accountability. It's integrity. It's ethics. It's accountability. Now, listen. We can create opportunities for our brothers and sisters who are less fortunate to have things. Absolutely, yes. Is that part of giving? Yes. But unless we take accountability for ourselves, None of that can even be enjoyed. The gift of it can't be enjoyed. We first have to be accountable to us. And I'm going to tell you something. I wrote some things down about pointing fingers. The moment that we point a finger and blame someone for this is the moment that we shortcut and short circuit our own lesson. See, the leaders cannot change a nation. That's right. The leaders cannot change a nation. Only the people can change a nation. And the people can't change a nation until they change themselves. We cannot change a fucking thing until we change us. And by change us, I mean open our hearts and be more accountable and give more. These are the things. This is what plant medicine is trying to do. Plant medicine is trying to get us all to do this. To show love, to be accountable, to give more. This is what plant medicine is trying to do. And guess what? In that process, you get happy. What? In that process, you get happy. And by happy, I mean sustainable contentness. You get happy in the gift of giving, in the gift of participating, in the gift of community, in the gift of sharing, in the gift of giving more than getting, you become content. And the universe responds in kind. It's just the way that it works. These are the things. These are the things that this is about. And if you miss this, you're going to miss everything. And I ask each of you to create a list, to sit down and create a list, to fix this relationship with yourself so it outpictures in all of your relationships being better, and then to write down the things that are important to you. And I can tell you why I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down, fold it up, and put it in your wallet, and when things are back to normal, to use it. Because it's going to be just as easy as it was before to become preoccupied with fixing the fucking refrigerator and being mad at the guy next door who didn't pick up his garbage as it ever was. And it will be up to you to be here and to look at that list and to say, no, that's not what's important to me. What's important to me is giving and sharing and love. And yes, it is that simple. The problem is the dis-ease, if there is thinking that it's not. That's the truth. So this is just the truth. So make your list. And I can tell you something too. I have a new thing because I noticed I'm gaining weight in this house. I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going to try to lose 10 pounds by the time this is over. I have a new internal commitment because I've been eating a little in my thing. Now, and as I said, this whole thing is a journey, and all a journey is a return to truth. If you guys don't understand this, this is it. And I'm going to tell you, I see things. How can I be so sure that it's over? I have my own way of knowing that, and I know it's going to be over sooner rather than later. And I also know from owning businesses for 40 years, and from being around business people who are much older than me, I also know that everything does return back to normal, that demand increases, that opportunities come, and that life returns to normal. And this is the thing that's going to look really hard for you to come to grips with around the 15th or 20th of this month, but it's the truth, okay? It is the truth. Bonnie, I have that same 10 pounds. We're going to get rid of it together, Bonnie. Let's make a plan. Now, if you sit in gratitude for the gift, and the gift is of this whole thing, forget the blame. The gift is letting you know what's important to you. If you're rich or you're poor, it doesn't matter. These same things become important. This is the great equalizer. And the gift is to sit in gratitude that you still have those things. You know, I'm so grateful I have Zen. I'm so grateful that Rythmia exists. I'm so grateful that my mom is still alive and that I have sisters and I have beautiful kids. I am so full of gratitude in this time. And I'm going to tell you, I'm making my list because I get caught up. Estelle, we're going to do it. We're going to do the 10 pounds. I get caught up in wanting to heal the world through Rythmia. This is my thing, da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes I forget about myself. I forget about how much I love my mom and how much I love my kids and how much I love that. And this was a great waker-upper for me. It's a great time to wake up. And I will do my best to not make this mistake over the next 10 years. Fact. So, if you miss the awareness of this, you're most likely the person that missed the awareness of the things that were important to you while you were in your regular life. So if you spend your time blaming the Chinese, blaming somebody who ate a bat, blaming some fucking crazy shit, it passed from a tiger to a man. If you're going to spend your time doing that, blaming, the best one is blaming Donald Trump as if it was his fault. And I am no Trumper. But I mean, the ridiculousness of a lot of this shit is too much, yeah? And blaming this guy and blaming this guy and blaming this. If you spend your time doing that and you miss your list, then you missed the whole thing. And when things get back to normal, you'll be caught in the same cycle of chasing the refrigerator, doing this is the thing, da-da-da-da-da, and missing. And then when the members of your family die, you will go back to this time. And you will say, shit, I wish I listened to this. I wish I listened to my heart when I was given the opportunity to hear myself speak in tranquility. Not only an opportunity, a forced timeout, where I was supposed to listen, and if I held those things important to me, from that day on, my life would have been different. And this is it, gang. This is the thing that's important. If we all sit here and we all do this work during this time, and I don't mean we take all of our day and do this. This requires the hardest 20 minutes of your day, the hardest, to sit down and be honest with yourself. The rest of the day, Zoom, if you use Zoom, or Skype, or telephone your mom and your family and let them know how much you love them. Let old lang syne, let those things that are forgotten are put in our past and start new. This is it, Mom. You're the only thing that's important to me, or you're the most important thing, or whatever it is. This is it, boyfriend. This is it, husband. You are important to me. This is it, son. Our relationship is the most important thing going forward. This is the thing. This is what we can do. And when we get in this mood, the mood of giving, the mood of loving, the mood of giving to ourselves. When I say giving to ourselves, I mean giving to this reconnection, to giving to our partners, to giving to our family, to giving to our community, to giving to our... When we get in this, we're in flow. And the greatest thing, like Nelson Mandela in jail, once you're at this point, once you make up your mind about this, you are free. You may be confined to your home, but you are free, and really free. More free than you've ever been before this. So hear this. The moment that you do this work, you are free. You're no longer under quarantine or whatever they call social distance, whatever this thing is. You are free. And not only that, when you are free, you're even more free than you ever were before. This is the thing. This is it. This is the work. This is the beauty, and this is the freedom. I'm going to tell you something. On both a financial, a spiritual, and a personal level, there are people who will find gold during this time, and they will take advantage of that gold. And what I mean by that is this. There are people who are astute financial guys that are going to buy the bottom of this stock market, and they're going to make a fortune, while the rest of us were saying this time it's different and nothing will ever be the same, and they're going to fucking make a fortune. There are also those people that discover this, and they will make a fortune. What I mean by that? They will have abundance of self in their life like they've never had before going forward. This gift of being alone will have changed their life for the good forever. Forever. So, and there are those people that will look at their businesses and they will find gold. They will find a new way of operating. They will find efficiencies that they haven't had before. This is the greatest opportunity ever, and I got to tell you something. You're never going to fucking get it back. For most of us that are working, nobody is ever going to make you stand still long enough to see this. Nobody. This is the opportunity. Please don't blow it from my heart. Please don't blow it. And I have to tell you, when we come out of this as a collective, as more connected to each other, as more honest, with more integrity, with more love, with more discipline, with more accountability to our brothers and sisters, when we come out of it like this, people are going to want the services you're offering in the spiritual community. You know why? I have to tell you something. After an event like this, there'll be a huge return to spirituality. Because it is part of truth. So what is truth? The truth is this. This connection with the eternal is a fucking huge part of our life that most of us have forgotten. This will bring it right back into focus. And it did. And it is. So if you're in a spiritual business and you're worried about yourself not doing well, you're wasting your fucking time. Because the rebound from this will be huge. So don't worry about that. What you should be worrying about is how to make a bigger difference yourself. How to look at yourself and say, this is what the issues are with me. I forgive myself. I want to get back here. And now that I'm here, I want all of my other relationships to reflect this. This is a time of you to bury all of your hatchets. Bury every single one. You have no need for them going forward. You've seen the light. You've changed. You've merged. This is the opportunity right now. This is the greatest opportunity, and I swear to you, I want to see all of you. Hi, Mike Koo, my love. I love you, sweetheart. I just want to tell you I love you so much. God bless you, honey. But this is the opportunity for all of us. I just saw a dear friend of mine who just lost the love of her life. And if this isn't the lesson of the medicine, nothing is. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Every second we have together, every second is a miracle. And if you get this, you got the whole thing. And if it is a miracle, every second is, then you better pay attention to something. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your community. This is it. This is the opportunity. This is the great opportunity. So please don't miss it. And when this is over, we're going to see all of you at Rythmia, and we're going to have a big party. And I'm going to tell you what, Rythmia will be busier than it has ever been in the past. It'll be hard to get in here, and that is sooner rather than later. And I'm not saying that to pep myself up or make myself... I know something. And I want you to borrow my faith, to know that things are going to be over quicker than longer, and to live from that. This is my gift to you. God bless you guys. I will see you next week, and stay with yourself. Stay with yourself. Don't leave yourself. Don't let yourself down. Restore this relationship with yourself. And let's move on together as a community that's joined at the heart. Let's do our stuff. Let's change the world by changing us today. God bless you. God hold you. God keep you. And I will see you next week. Love you guys.